In other words, within her is one personality that can handle blood, and one that obviously can't.
Wow.
So when Toko trapped herself in her room, it's because she was scared of Genocide Jack?
Yeah, that would make sense. I won't let Genocide Jack have control. Yeah. I'll drive out the killer. Drive out the murderous fiend. I mean, it makes a lot of sense.
The reason she locked herself in her room wasn't to keep other people from getting in.
It was to keep
It was
herself.
to keep her other personality from getting out.
Yep. That's why she's been acting like that the whole time.
Toko was afraid. Afraid of the murderous fiend inside of her. Of killing even more people.
It seems really obvious.
Oh, yeah. How can you know all this?
I do believe you misunderstood her. What she's trying to say isn't, how can you know all this? No. What she wants to know is, how could you tell them?
Huh?
Last night, just before Monokuma gave his motive speech, Toko and I had a strange conversation. She told me a most interesting story. She said a murderous fiend lived within her, and she was afraid it could appear and attack at any time. And that trepidation is what's caused her to have such a bleak attitude. Isn't that right, Toko?
This is all a lie. Right, Toko?
You said you wouldn't tell anyone.
What?
Oh, it's not a lie.
You promised. I can't believe you lied.
You have only yourself to blame. You came to me with your tragic little story. I didn't ask you to. This is the real world, not some romantic fantasy fairy tale. Besides, you broke your promise first. You said that as long as you were here, no matter what, you wouldn't let Genocide Jack kill anyone. But in spite of that promise,
Wow, that is... I'm sorry you couldn't keep our promise. Just don't worry. Never again. I won't let Genocide Jack have control ever again.
You said if I kept my promise, you would go out with me. That's the only reason I promised.
how many times do I have to tell you? I never said that, but you weren't able to do it. You just couldn't resist that rush you got from killing, could you?
I tried. I swear I tried to control it.
But your efforts were useless. What a disappointment.
Holy
I
shit.
hate you.
Well, the opening act is nearly finished. All that's left is to hear from the person in question directly.
The person you don't mean.
Toko's body started suddenly lunged backwards. A huge thud echoed across the courtroom, but in the next second... What the fuck?
Well, hello there. Is it me you were hoping to see?
What the heck?
So you figured it out, huh? Well, whatever. What are you gonna do? I'm the ultimate murderous fiend, Genocide Jack! Or better yet, let's go with Genocide Jill!
What the fuck is this?
Toko, what happened to you?
This is really obvious.
Not Toko, that's a loser name, and what happened is a textbook split personality. So what if one of them happens to be a serial killer? You should turn a blind eye to one's fault.
This shit is fucking nuts.
So intense.
Like they say, sound in murderous mind, sound in murderous body.
This one is so different from the one we've come to know.
Yes, well, the world is composed of a front and a back, you know. Just like how every inning has a top and a bottom, or how in the depths of every truth lives a little lie. Behind every dark and gloomy soul lives another that shines as bright as the sun!
Fucking horrifying. This is the murderous fiend Genocide Jack? This is beyond insane.
Miss Jack, Jill, can I ask you a question? What's up?
Some of us think you might be the mastermind behind our entire situation. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, I'll tell you, I am the mastermind of all masterminds! Just kidding!
Then it's not true?
Of course it's not true! How dare you try to link me to that creepazoid? And another thing, the police and government and society in the outside world are totally powerless! I mean, they just let this idiotic, bloodthirsty maniac go buck wild all over town!
Sure, I'm a bloodthirsty maniac, but life is pain, right? To live is to hurt other people. It's a necessary evil if you want to survive. The act of living itself causes pain for everyone. Just kidding again!
This should be enough to convince you. This murderous fiend is responsible for Chihiro's death. There's clearly a motive, so there should be no doubt.
A motive?
Remember what Monokuma told us? If someone didn't murder and graduate within 24 hours, an embarrassing memory or secret would be revealed. Well, let's assume that Toko's secret was about Genocide Jack. If a secret like that came to light, Toko's life would have undoubtedly been forever ruined. So she had a very clear motive to never have that side of herself exposed.
Interesting. Very, very, very interesting. But sorry, as much as I hate to admit it, I'm not the culprit.
But I cannot imagine anyone other than you could murder someone in such a bizarre fashion.
Maybe so, but nevertheless, it's the truth.
I thought it was too obvious.
Do you really expect any of us to believe you?
Yeah. I could never believe a word you say, you monster.
Maybe she's totally right about that, but something's still bothering me. What she said, I need to get some more details about all this. It seemed too obvious to be her. They were trying to make it her the entire time. The status of the dead body.
Sorry, but I didn't kill anyone.
You say that, but do you really expect any of us to believe it?
Perhaps if you had an alibi, that would change things.
Oh, an alibi, huh? Now we're talking.
When you compare your past murders to this incident, the modus operandi matches completely.
No, it's wrong!
Not exactly there, Butterball.
Are the methods of murder really exactly the same? I'm not so sure about that. I think there's a slight difference between the Genocide Jack cases and this one.
Huh? How's it any different?
Uh-oh, you don't know? Well then, human garbage, let me tell you! I murder with passion and conviction. I consider myself a professional, and I have a very particular way of doing things. Imagine you go to a fancy Italian restaurant. They're very picky about the noodles, the sauce, everything. But what happened to Chihiro? It'd be like if that same Italian restaurant started using Ragu or Chef Boyardee. This is no creation.
Don't you curse Chef Boyardee's name! He's a legend!
Let me rephrase that in a way that maybe makes more sense. There are two clear differences between the Genocide Jack cases and this one.
Just between the murders and these photos from the other scenarios. Just look at the neck and stomach. See a clear difference.
I got it! For one, the cause of death is different.
Hi,
In the
Manacle
Genocide
Michael!
Jack murders,
How's it going?
all the victims were killed the same way. According to the case file, they were all apparently killed with
I got
a pair of
it!
scissors. But Chihiro died from a blow to the head, right?
She did.
Yes, that is remarkably different
It's
from
me.
the other murders.
What's up, dude? How'd your stream go, bud?
Wouldn't it be strange for someone who kills the same way without fail to suddenly change their method?
Man, I don't have an idea who did
And
this.
there's more. one more conflicting detail.
That's right. In my recipe of murder, if the bloody message is the tortellini,
Oh, not done yet. Cool.
then the arrangement of the body would be the pesto sauce.
God. This woman's freaky!
Please stop
Oh, cool.
comparing
ARAMs are
killing
fun.
people to cooking. So, are you saying the other difference has to do with how the body was arranged?
That's right. The second difference is related to how she was suspended. In the photos of the other Genocide Jack cases, all the victims were stabbed through their hands. Here you see a difference.
I got it!
It's the
Do
cord.
you remember what the killer used to suspend her? They used some kind of rope to hang her up by her wrists.
What is your point?
Well, in all the previous Genocide Jack cases, something else was used to suspend them.
Ah.
Specifically, pairs of razor-sharp
Oh, God! That is nasty!
And guess what? I used my own specially designed scissors for the murders and the arrangement.
So to catch you guys up, she is apparently a serial killer, but she's not the one who killed the child that was killed in this part. So
Like I said,
we're kerfuffled.
I'm a professional, so naturally I'm very picky about the tools I use. And you know what else?
You're terrifying?
Big Mac said there's two differences, but he's wrong.
Big Mac. Oh, why thank you.
Big Mac? Are you referring to me?
Listen up, Big Mac. There's actually one more difference.
Huh?
My word, you really didn't notice? Take a
They're-
look
they
at
were
one
all
of the victims'
boys, right?
swords. There's a pattern there, just waiting to be discovered.
Pattern.
Figure that out, and it'll be plain as death why I couldn't have possibly killed that little lolly girl.
Let's see. There was a pattern surrounding the Genocide Jack victims, and Chihiro didn't fit in. If you look at the names in every victim, what you'll notice is, right now, I know why she couldn't have killed Chihiro was a girl.
I got it!
They were all boys.
Is it because Chihiro was a girl?
Bingo, bullseye, right on the money!
I wish I could have done her accent, because it's fucking ridiculous.
What are you talking about?
In all the Genocide Jack cases, all the victims had something in common.
They were all boys. Ken Harada, Tetsuhiro Honda, Shoji Gaku, Kano Issei. She killed a 14-year-old? What the fuck? Takeshi Yoshida, Kamatsanu, Takafumi, Uchida, Takeshi, Yudo. There's no end to it.
They were all guys?
That's right! The people I kill with such passion and conviction are all adorable little men!
Ugh.
I can't believe I said it! I'm so embarrassed!
The hell is wrong with you?
I can't help it! I'm just a full-throttle boy-on-boy fangirl, and the mopey side of me just hates it. But now I'm on the fast track to becoming a full-fledged fan madam!
So, since Chihiro was a girl and not an adorable little man, you wouldn't kill her?
Would an Italian chef suddenly start making ramen just because they're both noodles? Don't be stupid.
Why does it always come back to cooking?
I have too much passion and conviction to cross that line. That's the absolute reality of the one and only.
We get it. You've clearly explained your hobby and your philosophy. But that's not all there is to it. It's a different matter entirely. When you're forced to kill in order to survive.
That's a good point.
Holy car!
The leaker.
Lowly. Cur.
I would never kill for a reason as petty as mere survival. And if by some fluke I did kill to survive, why would I bother with the message and arrangement? It'd make me the obvious suspect.
That does make some amount of sense.
Plus, whatever reason I have for killing, I would never leave out my prized scissors. Who would go out of their way to use a big, stupid, heavy dumbbell?
Good lord.
Maybe you used the dumbbell because you couldn't find any scissors in the school?
Any scissors? I don't just use any scissors. I only use my own set of high-class, envy of the entire world scissors.
Why is she
Yay,
biting her
whatever.
thumb?
There
Ugh.
still aren't any in the school.
Are you sure about that?
Oh. Oh my god! What the fuck?
She's fully equipped. That's right. So I can kill anywhere, anytime. Why would I resort to dumbbells or rope when I have my trusty